the sun.
Oh my God. There's no reason why something that stupid should be that funny, but it was. You know?
That's straight from Will Ferrell right there.
All
He said
right.
it.
That doesn't feel funny. Yeah.
America, we are live in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody.
Hi. Welcome to the Unpleasant Peasants podcast.
Shalom.
I'm Jeff Vance. This is Johnny. Christmas. This is Quincy. Shamalama. And we're here. Which one do we look at? Oh, that one.
know.
That one.
This
That
is your
one's.
setup.
I'm looking at it, and you can't stop me. I am looking at that one.
Hey, America. We're looking at you. Like us. Throw us a share.
No need to put on pants.
No. This podcast is brought to you by Goodwill. You have things that you're ready to get rid of? Bring it to Goodwill. Goodwill.
They love it.
Now,
Love it.
this is the last day of April, which is convenient because we have an April birthday we're going to do our top 3 of. It's, yeah. His birthday is April 19th. That's right. You know who I'm talking about. No, you don't.
You have no
I'm
idea.
talking about the Cheshire Cat himself. He's been in many movies. He has one of the most distinguished laughs in the history of movie laughs, and that grin. Can we talk a little bit about the grin? Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about,
Danny DeVito.
clearly, Danny DeVito, the penguin himself. No, we are talking about Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Tim Curry.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Tim Curry.
Yeah, don't have a stroke.
No,
Whoa, too soon.
don't have another one.
So we're doing our top 3 here on the Unpleasant Peasant podcast today, and our top 3 favorite movies by Tim Curry. And we'll start this off with Quincy.
No. Okay.
Quincy. Tell us about your favorite Tom Clancy video.
Clancy video.
I mean, Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. So I chose Clue because I think it's one of his best performances throughout the film. Usually a lot of times he's relegated to a small part in an ensemble, but this one he's pretty much from frame 1 to frame last. It's all Tim Curry being awesome Tim Curry.
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times with 3 endings. So I wanted to start off first by saying I don't own this movie. This is not a movie I have in my collection. So I had to hunt this movie down. It's not on Netflix. It's not on Amazon Prime. It's not at Redbox, of course, because, you know, Redbox only does new movies. I actually checked it out from the library. That's
With the
where I
wrench?
got my movie. What?
With a wrench.
With a wrench.
No?
With the library.
See that?
I saw what you did there, but I tried to put it up. So anyway, yeah. So I had to check it out from the library, which made me start thinking, wouldn't it be awesome if there was like a place where you could go rent videos from, like a corner store that may have like shelves and racks of
Drugs.
video, so you could go in and kind of look and say, hey, I want that movie.
Something that had all the blockbusters.
Yeah, what was that? There was a place once. I can't remember what it was called.
Showbiz.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
it.
That was it. It was the video store in Gonzales. This is where I got all mine.
Video
when I was
USA.
a kid. Yeah, there was Video USA. They're all dead and decrepit now. There's only one Blockbuster left. But it got me thinking. It's like they could come back. I think they could come back. I'm gonna look and get a Blockbuster franchise.
You could probably buy one off your
Yeah.
phone right now.
You guys in?
I'm willing to go in.
I'll put $5
I will
in.
quickly go back out, but I will.
So I don't own the movie, so I had to check it. I had to rent it, and I hadn't seen it in quite some time, and it's funny to me going back and watching it again because, of course, you think you remember everything, but then there's like little subtle clues, nuances that you don't remember. It's like, oh, I totally forgot that, he did that, But yeah, that's probably my favorite Tim Curry movie of all time.
Did it all hold up?
I believe it held up extremely well. being made in like 1984, I think it was released. Yeah, is that crazy?
I was 14 years old.
And then all the actors that are in it. You've got Michael McKean, who's like a comedic genius of his own right, and like it's large ensemble, very funny. I think it works on all levels. I love how it starts off very kind of just low key, and then it slowly delves into mania, and everyone gets like when he's doing the big reveal at the end 3 times, and like it's just like, how do you keep up that much energy for that much time? Because you know how long it took to film that, and then to film 3 different endings. Technically they filmed 4, but they only did 3. They only released 3.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know they filmed 4.
Yeah, I did a little research, and I found out that they actually, I think they said they filmed the 4th ending where Tim Curry actually was the killer of everyone. Like, he killed everybody,
Huh.
and he revealed that at the end. So they just decided not to do that.
Very interesting.
I'd have been up for a 4th ending. Now, the interesting thing is, Q and I, we used to work in the movie industry, so we were used to putting movies together and whatnot. When they released the movie only got one
We
ending.
only got 1 ending.
So you never knew which one you were going to go see.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
Can you imagine having to pay to see a movie over and over? And, oh, God.
Yeah, and that was part of the coolness of the movie.
Better not be Michael McKean again.
5th time in a row, same ending.
And I don't know if they did like where they switched the reels. Like if you went to the same theater, if like later during the run they got a different ending reel, so you think you're gonna, oh, I know who did it, and then they surprise you. I don't know if that happened, but that would have been really cool if it
That's
did.
interesting. I hadn't
But
thought
don't-
about that.
To be honest, it wasn't a big hit,
No.
and unfortunately it got a cult following, but that's about it.
Very nice. Did you watch it by yourself? You watched it with the kids?
I watched it by myself after everybody had gone to sleep. That was my homework.
There
I
you
did
go.
my homework after
Very good.
everybody else went to bed.
Oh.
Yeah,
Would you recommend it
highly
with the
recommend
kids?
it. I think she would get into it. She would probably like it when it got like really zany, and they're all running around. But there's not much, but there's a little bit of like sexual innuendo and stuff like that might go over her head and might not. So
Right.
it just kind of depends.
Very cool.
But that was my movie. Clue.
All right, round of applause for Clue.
Good choice. Good choice.
Thank you. I chose it all by myself.
Very good, very good. Moving right along. Well, before we move on, was there a runner-up as far as Tim Curry movies?
My runner-up would have been It, but
Clown.
I was stuck on theatrical releases.
Gotcha.
So
TD movies.
That being said,
Understood.
it probably would have been Legend, which I think is brilliant.
Brilliant. There you go. The face and the laugh.
Yeah,
I mean, that voice, it's unmistakable.
absolutely.
All right, moving on right along. Johnny,
My favorite Tim Curry movie is actually Oscar.
Oscar.
Yeah. Also another ensemble movie.
Yep.
And this movie starred Sylvester Stallone, and I enjoyed it, which are 2 things I never ever say together.
Right.
It has Sylvester Stallone, and I enjoyed it. But I think what I was telling Jeff was I think Sly really brought his A game, or at least a game. He brought something. He tried. There was effort. I think his comedic timing was much better than people give him credit for. The man, whether we want to admit it or not, and I often don't, has got a lot of talent. When you go back and look at something like Rocky, it's important to remember that he wrote that.
Yeah.
So you're not dealing with somebody who, despite the way he talks, he is not as stupid as he sounds, because God, he couldn't be. But Oscar is brilliant. It's just an old-timey comedy. It feels to me like something James Stewart or something would have been in a long time
It
ago.
reminded me of the old, like, 1940s kind of, they called him something. There was a specific name for him, and I can't remember what that was called now.
Noir.
No, it
Well,
wasn't
noir's dark.
Noir is like the detective, really dark.
It's the
really-
opposite of noir.
But it wasn't slapstick or anything like that. But there was.
There's a hint of slapstick, but it's not
Yeah.
really, but there was a lot of wit in it, and that's what you had to have your timing right. There was a lot of unexpected lines, and it was just brilliant. Tim Curry played the elocution teacher, trying to teach Stallone's daughter how to speak correctly because she sounds like a gangster.
Who was the daughter was Marissa Tomei, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Chaz Palminteri is in this. Also, one of my favorite character actors that doesn't get a lot of work is Peter Riegert. He played Pinto in Animal House. One of my favorite actors, and I tend to enjoy most of the things he's in. But Tim Curry was, as always, he's just brilliant. He's got this charisma about him that you feel compelled to want to watch the guy, regardless of how small the part is. And in this one, he wasn't a great big part. He was just that perfect ingredient at just the right time to kind of move everything along. And he was made for it. So I've got to go with Oscar. Oscar is a brilliant film. If you haven't watched it in a long time, or if you've never seen it, go out of your way to see it.
It's worth the watch, definitely.
Yeah, that was actually on my list of movies to pick because I had seen it a long time ago, and I remember thinking it was really funny. Sly was really good in it.
Yeah.
It was. I like that movie too. You made a good choice, Johnny.
Thank
Very
you.
good choice.
I also made that one all by
Yeah,
myself.
all by yourself.
I did. I was copying you.
Well, it's funny too because I was doing a little bit of research. Like I said, that was based on a formula of kind of movies from like the 30s and 40s. And then according to the research I did, Clue was actually kind of a run of movies called like the Dark House movies, where there were a lot of movies that took place inside Haunted Honeymoon.
Oh yeah.
There
Okay.
was, like in the late 70s, early 80s, there was like all these movies that took place in a big dark house, and Clue was one of them. And I think the best one out of the ones that I remember.
He's ironically linked to a lot of house movies.
Yeah.
Between there was that, even Scary Movie 2. He was the butler of that house or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There was
I've forgotten.
there's a lot. I can't remember what exactly it's called, but like a lot like what you said, he's linked to a lot of big house movies where he's playing a goofy character actor. And the ironic thing about Tim Curry is he was second choice for Joker in the original Batman movie.
Oh, really?
See, no, that's a tough call.
That's
'Cause
Tim's, Tim's second choice.
You see, I would have really loved it if he had gotten that role.
Yes.
Because Nicholson was great, but I always looked at him and thought, how did the Joker just have a lot of sandwiches before there was an attack on Gotham, or how?
He's
But
really drunk.
well, maybe, but at the same time, you can't throw down acting wise against Nicholson. The man's amazing.
Oh yeah, I found that, and then I looked a little further, and they tried to put him in for in Roger Rabbit as the villain for Roger Rabbit.
Oh.
But when he read for it, they were like, it's way too dark, way too dark, which
It would
makes
take
me want to
Christopher
see that
Lloyd.
movie.
Yeah.
I could imagine him, and then because of the Joker thing, they approached him to do the animated series as the Joker before Mark Hamill. And again, he read for it and he was just way too dark.
Wow.
Really? That's
Or like
crazy.
he lost half the roles he's auditioned for because it's too scary. Which would be perfect for now. Like if you took him out of a time machine from then, put him in today, he'd be in like every movie.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, though, when you look at something like Spamalot, certainly not a dark character or anything else. That's comedy. He played it broadly, and he nailed it. So I guess like any
King
actor,
Arthur?
yes.
Like King
I've,
Arthur's movie.
I've read so many times about how after the Rocky Horror Picture Show, he did everything in his power to distance himself from that role. He didn't want to sing a lot. He didn't he kind of let himself go looks wise, so he, so they wouldn't keep trying to put him as the sexy guy or whatever. But yeah.
Well, I do have to say I've got to give a shout out to the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
I ran the live show of that for 6 years. We had our own little cast that would perform in front of the film. We call it a shadow cast, and we had an amazing time until two of them turned out to literally be murderers, and we had to stop doing the show. Killer transvestites. Anyway, yeah, but so I decided to go with Oscar.
Very good choice.
Thank you.
I think that movie would have been too on the nose if somebody would have. It's that's
Rocky?
an obvious choice. Yeah, that's
Well,
the
and that's
obvious
why I avoided it, because I think all of us saw Tim Curry, Rocky. No, that
Yeah.
was the second thought. No,
I when we said Tim Curry, I was like, I'm not doing Rocky Horror. I mean, I liked the movie, but I actually only liked half the movie. I liked the first half, and then when it goes into the second half with the psychedelic stuff, that's kind of when they lose me. And I'm like, if they would have just went straight through with what they were doing, I would have probably appreciated it more. But yeah, it was it just went downhill. That's my thoughts. What about you, Jeff? What did you pick?
Well, first let's give a round of applause to Oscar.
Yeah, Oscar.
I went with when I think of Tim Curry, character actor is pretty much where I go. Loaded Weapon. You remember that movie?
yes, I do.
Yeah.
He played the Girl Scout.
Yes, he
Girl
did.
Scout cookies. When he came to the door. That is Tim Curry. That's what comes to head. I just see character actor. Home Alone.
Right.
Shout out. His little 3 lines.
Oh, cameo.
Yeah.
Little cameo, but he's one of the mainstays for me in that movie. Macaulay Culkin and him is where my head goes. And the villains,
Right.
everybody loves them. But he's a character actor, and one of my favorite characters was from the movie Congo.
Fun choice. Fun
Yes. Congo is the little mistake that shouldn't have been a mistake.
Well, let's give it a round of applause.
Congo had every single thing in the world going for it. Stan Winston was supposed to bring his A game because they hired him for it. They had all the producers from Raiders of the Lost Ark. The writers and stuff came from Lawrence of Arabia. It had Michael Crichton did the book of Congo, so they were expecting the next Jurassic Park. Had a $50 million budget.
It had Bruce Campbell in it.
For like half a minute.
Bruce Campbell with his first.
Was that his first major one?
I think it was his first mainstream.
That's
Well, the Sam Raimi movies, a couple of them were kind of.
Well, they were all. Because I know he had that little part at the end of Darkman.
Yeah.
But that was that one little cameo at the end. I think this might have been his first major.
And what did he do? He did a straight up Sam Raimi shot into him screaming into